gotta fix that up. We gotta fix that up. I like this.
They're Gucci.
Take off your glasses.
I can't see. I can't see.
I don't care if you can see. You're gonna see now. Take them off.
All right, hold on.
Let me hold the mic. I'll hold your mic. Yeah. Put those away. Put that on. Look at that. Look how great he looks. Look at that. All in one dank.
I think they're a little small.
A little small? How big is your head? Jesus.
I'm big all. Never mind. Michael Payne, everybody.
Rapper dank. All in one dank. All in one.
We'll talk after, too.
We definitely will talk after.
Make sure you follow Michael Payne.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm enjoying myself at FanFest, and I'm so excited to meet you finally in person. It's been a year since we were on the podcast itself, but now we get to hang out for a moment, and I really appreciate you and everything you're doing.
I know. And then, they're raffling that picture that Dennis had done of Frank, which is absolutely incredible.
That is incredible.
So I see people are buying a lot of the raffle tickets and everything. So I'm proud that he still remembered. I mean, I always say to the fans that without the fans, we would not be having this event.
Very true, very true. And he's definitely remembered to this day, and he'll be remembered forever.
He certainly will. And for people like you that help it along, the family, well, thanks you.
Thank you very much. Barbara Goodish, make sure you follow Barbara Goodish. Any Bruiser Brody stuff you want signed or buy it from her. Message her on Facebook. That's right, Bruiser Brody. Check it out.
Check it out. Huss.
Anybody make sense of this?
Wait, okay, let me get there. So it's 80 cents times 20. Wait, $1, $16, I think.
That's what I got.
Around there.
I got like 17
but
something.
Then we sell them at 20 each. So
then it's like $3 profit in 8x10.
No, way more than that.
It's way more?
Yeah, it's 17 for 50 of them.
Oh.
No, I think we used 100 before. I don't fucking know.
Wait, no, yes, we did use 100 because then it was 20 times 100 and we were trying to get to 2,000.
Oh, yeah, okay. So if we buy 100 of them at 87 cents each, that's $8.07, right?
Yeah.
Or no, is it $87?
Wait.
I just want to know what you're calling this math.
100 times 8, it's $87.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know. Get a calculator. That's what.
All right, we'll get a calculator, everybody. All right, bye.
Trained me, shown me guidance are on these walls, and it feels bizarre and surreal to be joining them.
He's a good guy. He's an outright kind of guy. But listen, we got Slime Bowl City tickets.
I'm Cora, and I am your winner of this. I like it, Dark Papa Dick. You don't? Are you scared of the Dark Papa Dick?
It's great. It's great. I can't wait.
The first, and realistically, the only.
I'm doing great. How are you?
We just did steal it last time, but it's in safe hands. My son is watching it.
Are you positive?
Yeah, my son is watching.
Look at me!
I'm a physical specimen.
Very spicy, very spicy.
You got the dirt.
I wish.
I literally love conventions. Like,
I'm gonna try to get through her. That's my motivation today.
What's your home? I wish I could.
Coming soon. You can check her out on Monster Side. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Dank, and tonight I have a very special guest. You know what they say, third time is the charm. Let me bring him up, the one and only Brandon Young. Hi.
How's it going, man? It's about time we're out here.
It's about. We had first it was my difficulty, and then your difficulty, and now with the stars of aligned for us to talk for a minute.
Finally got our ducks in a row, but I'm happy. I'm glad we work somehow.
Appreciate you coming on. Let's talk about some stuff you got going on. You're going up against Ethan Steele in a number one contenders match coming up. Tell us about this match coming.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to working with Ethan. We've been in the ring a few times this past year, but it was always tag stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. He was someone that pushed me a lot during our tag matches, so I want to see what we can get out of singles. As far as FEW is concerned, my opinion right now, I still have unfinished business with Chris Styles. Unfortunately for Ethan, he's just a hurdle I'm running through to get to Chris.
All right. Then we got Prepare the Way coming up as well. Tell me what's going on here.
Yep, that's another good event I'm looking forward to. Me and Zay, first time we've ever worked. I've been away from that company for a bit. I had some injury issues a while back. I gotten a busted eardrum. Ended up having to take some time off, and this is the first chance I get to come back with that company. So I'm looking forward to being back there. It's a good locker room, hell of a crowd always. From what I understand, Zay's a little younger to the business, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the kid's got. He's from what I've heard, he's got a lot of potential, a lot of eyes on him right now. So I think I can pull a good match out of him.
All right. Also in attendance, the one and only Fuego del Sol will be there as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we got this Saturday EPW coming up as well.
First TV taping of the year. James Ellsworth, of course, is going to be there. A lot of fan favorites on that card. Marco, definitely one of my favorites, whether I agree with his opinions or not. Anytime we step in the ring together, it's a banger. I don't know what EPW's got lined up for me this year. Past a little bit. I've been off of their TV due to some personal issues going on, and along with someone stealing my gear bag. So I had a lot of gear missing. Yeah. A while back, I had some gear stolen out of the trunk of my car, my duffel bag. Had a lot of my stuff in it that I regularly used.
That's terrible, man.
There for a while, I was in and out of gear, and it was a struggle to keep myself aligned correctly and still be where I needed to be and look how I needed to look. So, for the better part and the better option, we put a hold on me being on TV for a while. Inconsistency tends to ruin a character.
I hear that. Also, besides James Ellsworth, the Twins of Salem will be in action. Jordan Vane, Makari Candy, and the one and only Goddess Nyx. Give them a quick shout out. Make sure everybody follows EPW Wrestling. Make sure you follow them. They're a good promotion.
Longest running Mississippi show, and their first TV show of the year is guaranteed to be great.
100%. And of course, here's all of Brandon's contact information where he's all appeared in a lot of promotions over there, including NWA right there.
Yeah, back when NWA was still before it became Innovate Wrestling, Tony Gibbons was running NWA Smoky Mountain.
Right. Okay. Make sure everybody contacts Brandon if you want him on your program. There's all his information. We'll have it posted on our socials. What's this? New female champion next. Love EPW Hollywood Jimmy.
Hollywood Jimmy has got some stuff going on Netflix right now. I think it's like the Dark Side of Memphis. If that's incorrect, but he's got some stuff going on Netflix right now. Hollywood
really?
Jimmy, check that out.
Definitely make sure everybody checks that out, and if you get any more information, Brent, let us know so we can share it. All right, let's start off with, how did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
Oh, it's something, I don't know, I grew up just like probably most professional wrestlers grew up watching wrestling, of course. My grandpa had dabbled in it when he was in his late 30s or so, never really made anything of it. And then I went to a show in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Their high school show. Me and one of my good, used to be my tag partner, we came into the business and training together, Josh Monday. We had went to a show together, and I somehow ended up, I guess, in an area I wasn't supposed to be in, rather. But there was a bunch of wrestlers hanging out. I got to talking to them. And then after the show, I had messaged one of them about training people. This was Skylar Cruz. I messaged him, see if he would train me. He agreed to train with me, and then I told my buddy that I went with that I was going to get trained for wrestling. Well, somehow he gets a hold of Skylar and starts training like 2 days before I do. So I finally get down there, and the house that I show up to train is ECW Easy Money's house.
Okay.
Used to go by Steve Skyfire, Jason Jett. End up starting training there under Skylar. And then his tag partner at the time, Gavin Daring. They were Air America, very big tag team on like Bristol, Tennessee side. Used to work for NWA Smoky Mountain as well. They were training us for I want to say a good year. Easy Money had helped out here and there, and then something happened. I want to say it was Skylar having a kid that was growing up and getting into football and stuff. He started taking over coaching and stuff like that. So Easy ended up taking over mine and Josh's training. And then the first show I ever got booked on was for Robert Gibson in West Virginia. I drove almost all the way to the show, and booking got canceled on me. No hard feelings against Robert for that. I was green as hell at the time. I didn't care. I was just excited to go somewhere. But the first show I ended up coming out from under Easy. I think at the time, towards the end of Easy training us, Skylar came back and he got me booked on a show called Pro Wrestling South for Mikey Duggar. Mikey was the first person that gave me a chance and a home place to work. I don't know what the hell he saw in me, but he saw something, and then 10 years later, I'm sitting here.
Okay, awesome. Tell me about some talent you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet in the independent scene.
Ooh, there's quite a few on my list. There's a bunch of local, I guess you would consider them local guys that work a lot around this area that I would like to step in the ring with at some point. This is not in any specific order, so I don't want to give more credit to one person or not. I would like to step in the ring with Tony Dabbs at some point. He's been around this area a while. He's pretty much a legend in his own right. I've tagged with him. I want to be able to work in singles. I feel like we would have a lot of story to offer. There's a new up-and-comer, CJ the Warwolf. He works a lot for FEW. He just debuted for EPW. Definitely want to get in the ring with him for singles at some point this year. It's been a minute since we've worked, but I would like to get Logan Stunt back in the ring. We haven't been in the ring in 2, maybe 3 years. We were supposed to run it back the show that my eardrum got busted, and I ended up taking off. So I'd like to run it with him again at some point this year. As far as, I guess, indie darling names that I'd like to run with, Blanca Loco, or he's going by Orion now, I'm pretty sure. Would definitely love to get in the ring with him at some point. That one would be more of a test for me. I would like to see if I could genuinely keep up with him. He's very athletic. One of the most innovative wrestlers I've ever seen. So that's someone I would definitely love to run toe-to-toe with. And then I guess as far as a bigger name, I want Ace Austin singles. I've had him in tag team. And I don't know if I've been informed, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Bay's got some issues going on injury-wise right now. So this year would be not trying to take advantage of Chris. I hope he gets better if he is, what I've heard is correct. but now would be the time, so to speak, to grab Austin for singles. So that's definitely someone I would like to get in the ring and test my limits with as well.
Okay, awesome. Anybody out in like outside of your area?
There's nostalgic reasons. There's a lot of guys back up towards where I used to work that I would love to step in the ring with again. And then there's companies that I used to work for that I've kept an eye on, and they've got new talent coming in. At some point in my career, I would definitely like to get back up to Innovate Wrestling at some point. Tyler Fochi, that works down that way. Andy Optimal. He was trained by, originally started with a guy named Chris Hensley. I don't want to claim training over him. I helped him out here and there, gave him what information I knew. And then he went to school at JPWA for Tom Pritchard School, graduated there. And now he is doing amazing things. Jason Kincaid has taken him under his wing. So that's another kid I would definitely like to step in the ring with that's kind of out of the area. And then there's a guy in West Virginia. We've tagged one time years and years ago. Never got a chance to work with him. I've been on maybe 2 shows with him. Zayden Kane out of West Virginia. Really solid worker, great style. So maybe some point this year we'll get a chance to run it with him.
Okay. Robert says, how about Tim Bosby, Gun Show, Mike Anthony, and Marco Harris?
Me and Gun Show always have decent matches.
Uh-huh.
I worked him a few times. The last time I was in the ring with him, the power went out at our show, and EPW has such dedicated fans that everyone in that crowd ran the rest of that show with their flashlights out. We wrestled from first match to last match with flashlights, and
wow.
Brett put me in a dress that night.
What?
I lost the match. Loser wears a dress match, so I got to wear a pretty pink dress.
Oh, well, hold on that thought for a second. We have a special guest in the chat from EPW, actually. Justin Klein. Whoa. I'm all ears to learn about this guy.
Well, hey, Justin. Justin's a solid manager. I will give him that. Not a lot of people agree with his opinions, but he gets done.
I think Justin is full of crap.
He may be, but he gets results.
He does get results.
So I can't deny he's good at what he does.
I heard he's got a rowboat for a yacht. Is that true?
It might be.
I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know. only he can confirm or deny that.
He's got Brandon rowing the oars for him.
He's got Brandon. Justin says EPW has dedicated fans. Also, usually have no electricity at their homes either. Ouch. Ouch. Wow. All right. Continue with your thoughts. I lost my train of thought already.
No, you're good. See, what was the other ones? Mike Anthony and Marco.
Yes.
Anthony, someone to keep an eye on. Love to step in the ring with him at some point this year too. I just watched him and Marco have a few good matches in a few different places. Like I said, me and Marco always have bangers. He's probably one of my top 3 people around here to work. I don't think I've ever had a bad match with Marco, but seeing him and Mike work, I know Mike's got some talent, some skill. So I wouldn't mind stepping in the ring with him at some point either. Okay. Anybody that can test my ability,
just to say, I'm taking a special interest in this man's upcoming match with Ethan Steele. So please continue. He's here to learn.
Well, we already discussed Ethan Steele. You're a little late to the party. He's just
he was on the boat. All right, let's go to the next question from our audience. It's Serena, the booker, actually. If you had to pick one female to have an intergender match with, who would you choose? That's a good one.
I have two that I'd probably hold even. Maddie, the American Baddie.
Okay.
She's a very strong worker, good force in EPW. Very talented worker. The other would be, and it would be under a different stipulation, but Nicole Payne.
Okay.
She's a worker out of Bristol, Tennessee area as well. She works for Innovate, PWS, and all those up that way, or used to work for PWS. She's a very hardcore worker, and not in the sense of like your average death match, but she does hardcore really well.
Right. All right, hold on. Justin says, I hear the person who wins that match gets the chance to be the loser the following month. Seriously.
You that worried about your boy's title, aren't you?
He's very worried about his boy's title. And yes, he was voted most hated by the fans. Yeah, he's worried about his boy's title. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't mind a belt, and I wouldn't mind taking the belt from Brandon. But like I said, as far as FEW is concerned, right now, going beyond the wrestling, dealing with a personal issue, Chris Styles, it's my problem right now. If I have to remove the belt from your boy to get to Chris Styles, it is what it is. I have no problem doing that. I mean, if he's standing in my way to get to what I need dealt with, I'm not gonna leave him standing there. I'll leave him laying and walk on to the next project.
Okay. All right, let's jump out of wrestling for a moment. Justin has caused a distraction. Let's talk about some of your hobbies. What do you like to do outside of wrestling?
Recently, this past year, actually went back to school. Started college for game design.
Okay.
I switched from
Awesome.
doing. I was originally in. What's the correct term for it? I forget what the correct term for it is, but they put me in coding. I'm not very fond of coding. There's other things I wanted to do, and there was somehow a mix-up in, I guess, my application that put me into. It was game development instead of game design. So they put me doing the systems in the games rather than like the levels, characters, and stuff like that. So I got that switched over, and I'm currently working on character design for video games, level design. I'm working on indie games whenever I have extra time to hit my computer. Other than game stuff, I like being out in nature a lot. Anytime I can go get some peace and just listen to the sounds of everything going on that's not, cars and people yelling and all that, just almost silence in a serene point. I like my peace. Keeps me level.
Okay. What about favorite foods? What do you like to eat?
Everything, man.
Everything.
I'm on a seafood diet. I see food, I eat it.
You eat it?
Yeah.
I've been on that diet recently, so I know.
I need to take better care of myself this year. I kind of, with everything that happened last year, there was a few points where I wanted to step away from wrestling due to either personal issues or just, I don't know, maybe I was doing it too much at some points and getting burnt out. I don't know what it was, but I kind of stopped giving a crap about midway through last year about my physical and my eating habits and all that. So I'm slowly working on getting that back on track. It's taking me time, man.
Okay. It's just insane, yeah. You had a good answer. You should have left it there. Yikes. Freaking Justin. All right, let's go into.
Listen, Justin, I can not take care of myself for the next 5 years and still not get as big as you, bud.
Whoa! Ouch. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, though.
Stop it.
Uh-oh. Everything all right over there?
Yeah. Two of my cats just got in a fight.
Oh, man. That's why I had to kick one of my cats out of here. He'd start going nuts.
They started playing, and then it got too serious.
What are the name of your cats?
I've got Neji, Raven, and Grizzy.
Oh, okay. Right. Cool. I got two of my own, Loki and Funko.
Ooh.
So I'm a big cat guy.
I wasn't until I ended up rescuing one a few years back. Got attached to it. We'd found it in a couch at a furniture warehouse. It had been in there all weekend. There were two of them actually. One of them didn't make it, and then I syringe fed this one until she got big enough, and I don't know. She just kind of made me a cat person. So
that's awesome.
A few more along the way.
Good deal. Good deal. That you saved the kitty, man. That's awesome. Good stuff. All right, let's go back into wrestling. Type of match you want to be in that you haven't wrestled in yet. Why is that? What kind of match would you like to be in?
That's a hard one.
Steel cage?
I've done steel cage a few times. I've done
scaffold match.
I've done one of those. I've done an X Division match.
Did you really?
Yeah, I've done an X Division match with the cables. I've done top 8 death matches. About the only thing that I probably haven't done that's a little bit probably because it's more of a budget thing would be like the chamber style, elimination chamber style, anything like that. That's something I haven't ever been a part of. That's about the only thing that comes to mind.
Okay. Places you want to go to you haven't been to yet, as far as wrestling.
I'd love to wrestle in Japan at some point. There's a list of companies I'd love to work for at some point. I'd like to pick up some shows down in Florida. Old buddy of mine lives down there, Josh Blaylock, used to go by Josh Matthews. Next Level, phenomenal worker. I've tried to convince him for the better part of 2 years to get back in the ring. He said he's got one more match left in him. He's saving it for Parental Advisory and Tony Dabbs.
Okay.
But I'd like to get on some shows down that way. Me and him was discussing that last EPW show. We had back when I was working for WFS, we had it was right before COVID hit. We had almost a month-long tour planned for Europe, and then I want to say it was September, might have been October that year. We had planned it was like a week or 2-week tour for Jamaica. WFS, ran by Brian Logan, used to have its own streaming platform, and most of our fans and people that watched that was European fans. So he had booked us a tour, and the month before we were supposed to go on that, COVID hit, they shut everything down, and we never got to go. So that's something I would eventually like to give a go at again too, maybe making a trip to Europe at some point.
Okay. Man, COVID really messed a lot of things up for a lot of people.
Yeah, cost me a TV contract, believe it or not.
That's crazy. Unbelievable. Speaking of TV and all that stuff, what are your thoughts on the WWID program?
I think it's a great program, especially for guys that go their whole careers being an indie darling and, having their own fan base that can carry them. Like some people have, it gives them a chance to actually be seen rather than having to work for a specific company or being on a specific network or knowing certain people to be able to get seen. It broadens up horizons for anybody that's serious about doing something with this business.
All right, good stuff. Robert has a question. Who are your favorite wrestler of all time? Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Hands down.
Who?
Shawn Michaels. Heartbreak
Shawn
Kid.
Michaels.
Yeah.
Heartbreak Kid. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, let me show this real quick. I got this from.
Oh, yeah.
I
Nice.
needed this one from Coach David over at TNS Wrestling Collectibles. Well, I'll go into that later. But yeah, Shawn Michaels, my probably all-time favorite of all time. Close second is Triple H.
Yeah, I'm close second. Ooh. I might have to say Randy Orton over Triple H.
Okay.
I don't know. I've always liked Randy Orton's body language as a wrestler. Like he has that. Like there's something constantly unhinged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I love his style.
Good stuff, Brandon. Good stuff. All right, let's go into the last thing. Let's go into your goals for 2025.
I got quite a few. Big problem I have is with media. I'm inconsistent. Big thing for me this year is I want to remain consistent with that. Making sure I'm promoting myself correctly. Like we had discussed, I'd stopped caring and I just kind of stopped putting myself out there. So I plan to correct that this year. Make sure I keep my presence solid. Get back in shape. Correct my diet stuff. I would at least at some point I'd like to hit a bigger indie company somewhere, whether it be House of Glory, something like Ring of Honor. I want to get to a point where I would be looked at for something like that. That's definitely one of my end goals by the end of this year is to be something more than I am now.
Okay, good stuff. Awesome. All right, Brandon. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Oh Lord, I don't know off the top of my head.
Let me bring the card up. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have a bunch of different numbers at the end of my stuff. All right, it's going to be Brandon Young on Facebook, Brandon Young 023 on Insta. If you want to follow me on TikTok, it's Brandon Young 065. And for booking, it's b.young 98 at gmail.com. I'm available for more podcasts, shows, of course, meet and greets, any events you want to have me a part of. Let's do business.
All right. Do business with Brandon Young over there. Thank you for coming on the podcast tonight.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Appreciate you coming on.
Like
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, even though it took so long, it was a good experience to have, man. You're my first podcast, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Like I said, I'm bad with media, man, and like if there's not a mic in my hand or a crowd around me, stuff like this bothers my nerves. I get anxious.
Okay.
So hopefully I didn't.
You handled it really well tonight.
But yeah, it's my first podcast.
Keep it going though. Make sure you. No problem. Thank you for coming. Make sure everybody who watches books Brandon at other podcasts available. Serena says thank you for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you for contacting me.
Thank you. I want to give a quick shout out on a couple of things I got going on. First of all, my graphic designer, Pickway Design, who also designed the puppetink.com, out now. Make sure you hit up Pickway Design for more info. Opening up a store soon in 2025. And of course, my friend Coach David at DNS Wrestling Collectibles, where I got this Ultimate Shawn Michaels figure at a great deal right there. Plus, I'm a big Ultimate guy, so Demon Finn Balor is another one that I've been looking for, and he had all the great ones that I needed. And there's a couple more I'm eyeing, but don't tell them, because then I'll spend all my money. But I want to thank them. Also, make sure you check out Papa Dank Vlogs currently on my YouTube channel, as well as papadank.com, where you can see all my stuff in one shot. And speaking of the vlogs, my newest vlog is out right there. I'm hanging out with Live Danger, hanging out right there, as well as the cause of it all, Joey Conway. The devil himself has returned, Brandon, and he's on my vlog out now. Tour Dead Dank on my YouTube channel. Check that out. In May, I will be in St. Louis for SICW Fan Fest 3, May 16th and 17th. Make sure you get your tickets for Fan Fest at SICW. Already announced for the St. Louis Hall of Fame that night is the Von Erichs. They're going to be inducted into the class of 2016, as Kevin Von Erich himself will be in attendance. Next week right here is Titan Week for Titan Championship Wrestling. That's next week. I'm hanging out right there with Michael Fain, all-in-one Michael Fain. But my first guest for Titan Week is a bit one, and we went a little bit extreme on this one, Brandon. Shane Douglas joins me this Tuesday, January 7th. ECW legend Shane Douglas, who will be at Titan Championship Wrestling as he battles Jeff Noyes for that vacant Funhouse Heavyweight Championship. Also in attendance that night for Monsoon will be Baba Thunder himself, and he goes up against the TCW Heavyweight Champion PJ Savage. Make sure everybody gets their tickets at Titan Championship Wrestling for Monsoon, coming up on January 11th in Berkeley, New Jersey. Also, and even though I don't have the graphic, but also in Jersey will be, actually I will have the graphic in a moment, will be a special award ceremony. And the first recipient for the 5-year award is Mr. Anthony Gangone, Dr. Sleep, as well as Magic just announced for that, and Steve Monster Mac. And I will be doing the hosting of the awards, Brandon.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited for that. So everybody come down to Monsoon for Titan Championship Wrestling. Get your tickets now. And yeah, I'll see you all there. Shane Douglas is still wrestling, yes. Class of 2025. You need a Dom Dom. What? I don't know what that means, and I don't know if I want to know what that means.
Shane Douglas can probably still go. I haven't seen him wrestle recently.
Yeah, he hasn't wrestled recently, but he's wrestled at, I think he was at the first Titan show, and they brought him back for this show because it's a 5-year anniversary. So yeah, he'll be in attendance, and I can't wait to get some good ECW stories out of him, as well as his thoughts on the match coming up. So that's going to be the kickoff for Titan Week, and that's a huge kickoff for the year, to be honest with you, not just for Titan Week. For myself, as I had Baba Thunder on in December.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to have him on, and you know, we got some surprises coming in 2025. So stay tuned for all things Papa Dank on right here on Beyond the Barricade, and of course my socials as well. Brandon, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thank you again for having me, man.
Everybody else, have a good night. Brandon, hold on for a minute. I'll see everybody back on Tuesday for Shane Douglas and Big Jeff Noyes that night, kicking off Titan